Hello, I've had such a busy day. I did a little broadcast in Australia late morning, and I can't find it. It's extraordinary. I thought I could find it. It's called the No Name Trivia Quiz or something. I'm sure you can find this. Anyway, it was wonderful. It was wonderful, and there was a fella from Doctor Who, which was delightful. But meanwhile, I was just in the middle of a lesson and the doorbell rang, and it was somebody from Amazon with a package, and and they said they wanted some sort of code that Amazon had sent me. Well, I couldn't go back and find a code. I was already in the middle of a Zoom lesson, and my students were inconvenienced as it was. So I sent them away to try and find it, to try and do it again tomorrow, which is an inconvenience for me and for them. And the code apparently was sent this afternoon. Well, why on earth does Amazon do anything so ridiculously patronising and upsetting? I just don't understand. Frankly, what is the point of Amazon if A, they don't deliver, and B, when they do deliver, they want some sort of patronising code reciting to them and a slap on the back and congratulations for having delivered what was ordered and paid for? It's called a service industry, isn't it? Suddenly I feel that I'm serving them. Anyway, on the subject of service, Ofcom have decided that they're going to find, not Ofcom, it's the Digital Culture, Media and Sport people have decided that they're going to maybe it is Ofcom actually, they've decided they're going to look into whether or not politicians should be fronting television programmes as they are endlessly on talktv and GBNews. You've seen them. Nadine Dorries struggling to read the auto cue. Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg. Anyway, all politicians, or by their own admission, failed politicians or retiring politicians who are on TV, they're still collecting their political salary from Westminster, still affiliated to the government, and yet promoting a sort of magazine-style show like Philip Schofield on a good day. And I'm not suggesting anything improper about Nadine Dorries' enthusiastic clinch as she greeted her first big guest for her first solo session, by referencing Philip Schofield, I hope. Nadine does Boris, or whatever it was called. Anyway, auto cue reminder would have been a really good name for the show, wouldn't it? And even if the programmes run as current affairs on current affairs, we're back to Philip Schofield, and even if the programmes run as current affairs on channels called GBNews, they are demonstrably not news, as Ofcom would say, and therefore technically they are allowed. But should the regulations change to catch up with this cheat, with this sleight of hand, with this le jeu de main, with this nonsense, with this piece of magic, the posse of politicians on the make on TV, it's staggering, isn't it? Doris, make me a lady, Nadine, Lady Doris of the Four Lanes. Rees-Mogg, call me sir. At least he's watchable. Esther McVeigh and Philip Davies. Esther McVeigh thinking of times past when she hogged the television camera herself. But then the rules, even governing current affairs, are specific, and they demand that if somebody is broadcasting, there's a range of views. But there isn't on these channels. There isn't. It's extraordinary. The rules say, the rules were vague in 2005. They allow for political presentation where editorially justified. I don't know quite how Nadine Dorries is ever editorially justified. So it's a bit of a catch-all or a cop-out. And Farage is not a parliamentarian, so it's a sort of different issue when it comes to Farage. But he seems He seems, frankly, to be on some sort of extended party political broadcast for whatever right-wing party he will be creating next. Don't you think? And it's not as if Labour is free from this sort of joyride. Ed Miliband was hosting Jeremy Vine. Editorially justified. I mean, it's lovely to see Ted, but editorially justified. He was charming. Ian Duncan Smith. I mean, give me Ted Miliband any day rather than Ian Duncan Smith. But that's just taste. That's just taste. Ian Duncan Smith shouldn't be allowed out of Parliament, really. It's undignified. But the current position seems to be wrong. And Eric Pickles, the committee chair, said that taking action against Matt Hancock and Nadine Dorries was disproportionate. I wouldn't have thought there was anything disproportionate about it. They should both be castigated for taking time off Parliament, taking the fee, and swanning around on television. There's better people who can swan around on television. They're not called Nadine Dorries, and they're not called Matt Hancock. Ooh, Gina, where's the cupboard? Matt Hancock, have you thought Matt Hancock could do Doctor Who, coming out of a cupboard to face the Dalek? Oh, it's a Dalek! Back in the cupboard, locked down. No, or he could revive Naked Attraction, because there's a series of cupboards there, aren't there, that people come out of. Gina, come out of the cupboard, Gina. Let's come out of the cupboard and host Naked Attraction. Oh, I'm not hosting. I'm one of the contestants. I'm a contestant on Naked Attraction, Gina. Oh, yeah, I don't think anybody would want to turn on for that, would they? That's a great turn off. That would finish GBNews and Talk TV and Channel 4 all in one go. Nadine Dorries would be pleased.